Welcome to Danu on Fire right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. We're checking out on a sunny day. We have come to this beautiful place to speak to Thanuj. You would have known Thanuj from many things, from commercials, from modeling, then also his work in interior, a little bit of architecture. And how many things do you do?
Lots of different things.
Artistically, you are there in many ways than one. Tell me about this place.
Tell me about this place. So
Yeah.
this is, we are right now at 55 TG. It started off as my private home.
TG stands for Thanuj Goonewardena.
Yeah, a little bit of ego in me.
Yeah.
So my mom got sick, and I was just telling you,
Yeah.
my mom got sick, and then I decided how do I sort of help her? Because my other siblings were helping her. My sister was taking very good care of her. She was going for her chemotherapy, all of that. But then what I did is I came back to Colombo and made her life so busy. I literally broke the floors, started breaking the walls. And as a result of this, Amma completely forgot her cancer. I mean, believe it or not, you can actually make people forget sicknesses.
Yeah. It's also in your mind, right? Maybe she would have been just cursing you throughout saying, maybe she would have just forgotten about it because of that.
Oh gosh, I never thought about that.
Yeah. She would have thought you are the cancer now.
And I arrived.
Yes.
And I'm back there with her.
That is true. You know, I was telling Thanuj, he had a beautiful house in Kandy. It was on top of 2 mountains and it was just absolutely gorgeous. It was like a lot of people used to just walk into that house and wait, and you will walk in and be like, oh, you're not here? Because they have just come to check it out. Was it hard for you to let it go? I know it's a materialistic thing, but yet you put so much of effort and heart and soul in doing that. And it got featured in multiple magazines. And
Yeah, it was a house built architecture by Channa Daswata. Yes, it was hard, but also at that point of time, I mean, I have different parts of my life. There was 2 to 3 years of my life where I was a complete vegetarian. I was very pious and I was meditating, and it was a part of my journey.
And
Yeah.
I saw those.
I had a beard and I had hair, all of that. So that's the time I actually sold my house. Also because mom got sick and I wanted to be with mom in Colombo. So moving to Colombo, I didn't want to have the responsibility of looking after the house there and also the hotel. So I reinvented myself. As a part of the reinvention was selling my house and letting it go. No, actually it felt good.
Oh, that's
Really,
amazing.
it felt good.
Yeah, if it was me, I would have been like, just let me just stay here. It's gorgeous. But wanted to ask you, how did you sort of enter into all of this?
All of this meaning
All of what
all
you
the
do.
many things that
Yes,
I do.
Yeah.
So I think my family has always been in hospitality.
Hotels. Yeah.
In hotels. So it was a natural instinct of me to get into hospitality, which was very easy for me. After school, I went to hotel school. I did my degree, and I excelled at it because it was second
In
nature.
your DNA.
It's my DNA, second nature. But I think the turnaround when I sort of realized, I always figured out myself as an artist.
Right.
But I never sort of studied to be an architect. So then I was when I was working for Kandalama and I got the opportunity to work alongside Jeffrey Bawa, Inadi Silvalu Vihare, Channa Daswat, Lucky Serenayaka, and quite a few of these amazing, legendary artists and architects. That's my turning point. That's actually when I realized, oh gosh, I'm like a born again.
And this is your love, and this is in your blood. And that's why it sort of came out.
Yeah, creativity is actually intelligence having fun.
Yeah.
So
true.
I'm having fun.
Now, this particular property, it's out for people to come and stay, experience, and it's it's in Nugegoda. But how do you make this experience so rejuvenating that they go back thinking, wow?
So when we started off in 2013, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 2013, it was a boutique hotel, and we catered to mostly, I mean, not just foreigners, anybody, but whoever came here to stay in a hotel.
Right.
But with COVID, everything changed. So how I look at it is like, say, a bird on a branch is not scared of the branch falling because it trusts its wings.
Yeah.
So likewise, what I knew about hospitality, I was able to adapt and change. And this became completely local centric. So literally 55 TG became the venue for, I mean, romantic weddings, photo shoots, a lot of locals started using it, and
Right.
it was very convenient because we are in the heart of Colombo. And I mean, it's affordable, and obviously there's lots of different locations that you can shoot.
That is
So I still maintain both businesses. I'm a hotel,
Plus
but also catering
a
to
location.
the
Yes. And where else can we shoot this episode? I said, why can't we go to Tilanga Hotels? He was like, no, shoot it here. So then obviously, because when others can shoot it, why can't we shoot it? We have some interesting things to talk about in terms of Thanuj's life and things that keep him going. But it's an artistic place. It's absolutely gorgeous. Everything is so tastefully done. And his collection is phenomenal. And I know when you used to like go buy those things in some godforsaken places and bring it all back to Candy. So it's nice to see some of them still being cherished, and these are all like very authentic antiques.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
That are the fake ones, and that doesn't give you any pleasure in using it.
So I was a bit of a crazy kid. So I mean, I've been collecting antiques and art since I was about 13 years old. I remember my mom asking me when I was 13, what do I want for my birthday? So I got her to buy me a small antique horse. So she thought I was crazy, but she didn't disapprove. She actually bought what I asked for.
But at that point, to know the value of it, that takes a lot of talent. Amazing. We're going to get into a break. We'll see you on the other side. Now, food here is coming from a different place. It's here, but it's coming from, it's not that Thanuj is cooking. He can cook, but he is not cooking. Who does your food here?
Sajid.
From?
Sajid and the team from Yummy Colombo 5.
There you go.
So my kitchen is operated by them, and all the food that you experience at 55 TG or on Uber Eats is from Yummy Colombo 5.
Amazing. Let's get into a break. We'll see you right after this. Stick around. It's Danu on Time. Welcome back to the show, in conversation with this amazingly talented man in this fabulous looking location. Just tell me about this place.
So these are actually these are what's used in the different flags of the ministers and different kings
Back in the days.
back in the days. So I took these the animals in the flags, gave it to a digital artist, and then we came up with the wallpaper. So this is a sticker wallpaper.
Yeah, but the creation looks really gorgeous, and it adds so much of light to the space. Yeah, very nice. Wanted to ask you, this month is also, the month of June is known for its colorful timeline. There's a lot of pride conversation happening. What is your take on the issues that have been dealt with in Sri Lanka? And I know it's in Parliament right now for it to be decriminalized.
Decriminalized, yes.
Tell me about your thoughts on it.
So I have a personal side to it as a child, which is quite bizarre, and this is something that I had completely forgotten, and also that resurfaced during COVID, which I thought I was lying to myself, until a person who was involved in it came and said sorry to me and said, "Hey Machang, I think I destroyed your life when you were a child." So I was thinking, oh my God, so it's actually true. So,
But sometimes you feel like these could be fictional in your head as well, whether you are trying to just make believe something, or it's just like something that you might have watched somewhere that you are applying to yourself. But whereas some traumas, you just try to put it away.
yeah, and also because society guides you in a certain particular way, and you have to conform to social requirements, and which is, I'm really good at it. I'm brilliant at it. But what about my personal life? What about your own child's personal life? Seriously, like, I think as a father or a mother or a heterosexual couple or a heterosexual man or a woman, you got to think of your own child, your own son, daughter, your brother, sister, and think as to how they would feel if they are naturally not the same as you. the trauma that they go through in society, the criminalization, the discrimination, the workplace. I mean, lives are really, really bad for them. Is that what you want for them? Really? I mean, seriously, is that what you choose for them? Come on. Change. Love is love. I am really happy that the law has decriminalized it.
Not yet. It's still in
The
Parliament.
law has, but the Parliament hasn't yet.
Yeah. But you know what is really interesting is the fact that, I watched a video. The whole, this identifying your preferences in gender, in terms of what you love and what you choose to love, has been around for decades and years. Back in the days, they didn't have the guts to speak about it. But now they're coming out and speaking about it, and labeling it and naming it has become the problem that created all of these issues. If it was never discussed, it would have still not been a problem. So, but you went through a traumatic experience when you were young, which you were kind of skeptical to talk about, but I really wanted to, because it'll inspire a lot of people. Because we do go to, well, same gender schools in our country, most of us, and at that time at my time we didn't have enough international schools. At your time, I don't think international schools were even here.
No. Seriously. I was wondering today, we have not been laughing. I was waiting for that to come out.
So, but the same gender schools can create curiosity. You go through puberty at that time. You're trying to really wrap your head about, okay, why are certain parts of my body getting stiffer and standing tall? So these kind of things do create issues. What happened to you?
This is crazy, because I have never spoken about this in my life. Not to my parents, not to my siblings, not to hardly any of my friends even know about it.
Then I came and poked my information.
Yeah, then Danu happened. Yes. So when I was 11, I think I would have been a bit different to every other boy in school. So maybe, to be honest, I would have been a little effeminate. So I think my friends decided they need to put me right, and they need to make me as the conformities that the parents put their children through in their own houses. So, I was in a boarding, and we were very, very deprived of food. So if somebody invited me to, I never steal, but the one thing I stole as a kid is food. I used to go to a school which had lots of monkeys in the morning. They would come through our school, Trinity.
I know.
So I used to steal other kids' lunch packets, and I used to blame it on the monkeys. Right? So when somebody invites you for food to their house on a Sunday, that's just amazing. That's divine. That's heavenly. So which is what I did on a Sunday as an 11-year-old boy. I'm into somebody else's home, and they decided to tie me up on a bed and rape me. So.
And these are all your batchmates?
These are all my batchmates. I thought about it then. I didn't have access to a mobile phone. I couldn't get through to my parents. All I did was
there were no mobile phones at that time.
There wasn't. I'm a bit ancient.
Just wanted to say, why you were deprived of that. It's just that. But how did you come out of it? Because in this country, you don't talk about these kind of things.
Yeah. So what I did is I literally, I don't know how I managed it in my head at 11 years old. I decided, okay, go with society, go with what they want, and win them over. So I survived school by winning them over. And luckily I don't think there was drugs and all of that. There would have been, but not to the extent there is now.
Yeah, true.
So I was lucky. Maybe I was a little stronger. I only hope and wish that others don't have to go through.
And you are right now going through counseling to just deal with this demon.
Yeah, because it's resurfaced, and now I know it's fact. It's something that happened, and I think every part of my life really has connected to that. There are certain things I'm very good at business. I'm very good at creativity, all of that. But there are certain things about myself that I hide. I am not my real self. Instead, I become somebody else to please everybody else and to go through society.
Just so that you fit into the framework. Well, I'm really happy that you have the courage and the strength to talk about it today, to accept it that it happened to you, because that's the only way you can come out of it. And I really hope this is like an eye-opener for, sometimes there's a line between bullying and a line between traumatizing somebody. This would have been done as, Machan, let's do this, let's teach this bugger a good lesson. But what you actually end up doing is just scarring somebody for life. It's not the physical scar, it's the emotional, the mind, how you break somebody's soul. So that's the whole depth of it. If you have situations like this in your life, and today because you have access to so much of help, so much of knowledge, make sure you find a way to stop it. It's the best thing that you can do. On that note, I just want to let you know your bloody Trinity monkeys are annoying. They took a t-shirt of mine which I have never worn. They took it and went through the grill window. We were staying there for a camp. They took my new t-shirt. I'm very annoyed about it.
So you were there when you were schooling? School days?
No. After that, we had like this camp for youth, young adults, and all of us were staying there. This bloody monkey took my t-shirt. Because we didn't have like space to store the clothes, so I like hung it there, which I was going to wear that evening. He just pulled it through the gate and went.
What did the monkey use it for? Like a blanket?
I was quite thin at that time.
I actually don't remember those days.
Let's get into a break. We'll see you on the other side. You stick around. It's Danu. Back with us on the show. It's Danu on Fire, our final segment. Thanuj just brought me to a room. Scared, I must say I am.
Funny.
Grandma, what are you hoping on doing?
The bed's right behind us.
So tell me, what is this room? Why is it special?
So this is called the art room.
Okay.
This is created for brides.
Right.
For bridal dressing and for photography, with all their requirements like the lighting, the
natural lighting
many
coming in.
mirrors, and so much of art.
It's sort of, and I love the fact that the paintings and the art that you have used here are not exactly the symmetrical look. There's a bit of an abstract to it as well, but at the same time creating a depth to it. Now tell me, have you ever felt like when you come across a piece of antique art and you're like, I know I have no space, but I so want it. How do you deal with that problem?
That's actually one of my biggest problems, seriously. I have too many things in my storage, which is good because now since I'm an interior designer, I can use it in other spaces.
But it's a bit of a problem, right? And you sometimes don't you feel like, okay, I should replace this from my house with this. It's a never-ending process of creation. Don't you think so?
It is. I remember when I was living in Kandy, in the house that you have been quite a few times, I used to once in 3 months, I used to change the whole house because it has such a big collection in storage.
Right. So you used to just take them out and redo it. And it also gives you like a new feel, like you feel like you're walking into a new space every single time. I know that there are so many, actually there was a time when people didn't consider an architect or a designer to a house as an important element. You just build up a house and you put things off a showroom, you're like, boom, you're out, in, done. But now people have taken it into consideration. They even want the smaller spaces to be designed well. Tell me, today, have you ever explained the importance to people who have not seen it as a valuable thing?
It's a good question because yesterday I was actually helping a client that I did a house for 2 years back. And I was watching the mother, father, the 2 kids and the maids and the driver, all of them interacting in the space. And I've been to this space before I did it. And now, it's 2 years after, it's amazing. It's so fantastic to watch that I have made a space so practical, beautiful, yet so practical. So in life, I think, that's just, I'm talking about a house, but you're so correct. When it comes to a restaurant, when it comes to a cafe, when it comes to a salon, everybody wants it interiorized now.
Yeah. You want a character to the space now.
Yes.
Yeah. And people think, it's just a waste of money to invest so much on paintings and things like that. Even looking at this space, some of these paintings must be so valuable, some may not, but you find the piece that fits that puzzle. How do you sort of do that?
That's actually a task. But
when do you know it's too much?
When I am dealing with my clients, I'm very careful.
Right.
But only when I'm dealing with myself that I can go overboard.
Right.
Because with the clients, I tend to, I talk to them, I feel them, I go out to dinner with them, and I figure out exactly who they are. So whatever spaces I make for them is a reflection of themselves,
Right.
not really me.
So that sort of gives them a reason to sort of, understand and sort of feel themselves in the space.
Yes.
So this brand called TG, what is next? What are you planning on doing these days?
So for the longest time, people used to ask me whether I can take other properties on management, which I kept on saying no, no, no. But actually, very soon, by the end of this month or the beginning of next month, we'll open up a small villa in Kandy. It's called the Margosa Residence by 55 TG.
Right.
And then there's 2 more in the pipeline by the end of this year.
That's amazing.
So I'm going to get really busy.
In terms of life and with all what you have gone through, what you have seen, and also things that people may say, you would have, the societies that we live in can really puncture your heart sometimes with comments and things that are not needed. Where do you see yourself mentally right now, today?
In a really good place, because I have finally come to understand who I am, and I'm very comfortable with who I am. And everything is a reflection of you. So if you portray yourself to be somebody else, the society is going to hurt you. But if you are yourself, society is going to actually appreciate you for who you really are.
So it's all about finding yourself and being authentic about it.
Yes.
It's a hard task. Was it hard for you to search your soul and get to where you are today?
Obviously, I mean, it's a massive journey, and I've journeyed in wrong directions, and I've come to a point in life that I'm very comfortable now. Yes.
That's amazing. Anyway, you might have seen him in 100 commercials. Doing commercials is like a passion for you, no? It's like a hobby.
Yeah, it actually was. I was trying to figure out. It was my first job. I think when I started when I was about 17. But now it's a passion.
Now
I
you are
really
more
like
into
it.
like daddy roles.
Yes.
Like pulling the cart, pushing the cart.
I almost did grandfather recently.
No way, that's
not
too
really,
much.
not really.
That's
but
really
they put a lot
pushing.
of wrinkles and
Yeah, that's pushing it. No, just stick to father for now. Like that's like really hurtful. Just elevated all the way up there. But if it's a character where you're playing the father and the grandfather, then it's okay. Like that you have become the grandfather, then it's fine. Things I'm just trying to, hold on to my youth. That's how you sort of demand. Anyway, thank you so very much, Thanuj, for hosting us. Absolutely nice when you come to a place where hospitality is key, because they've prepared lunch for the whole crew here, and it feels like home when you walk into a place that really wants to treat you well. And that's what's special about this property, 55 TG, and everything that he has done. Thank you so very much for your hospitality and for all what you do. I wish you all the best, and I hope I'll do more shows with you when all your other properties open up.
Thank you, Danu. Actually, on a final comment, I met you years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember walking down a street, and I was a model back then, and I was really popular, but then everybody was coming to you, and I was actually quite jealous back then. And this is a long time back, and I've seen your journey from then to now, and who you are today, and also for the fact that when it was a really bad time for all of us, you made us laugh, you made us smile. So your show is amazing, and
Thank you.
Keep doing whatever you do, because it's fabulous, fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. On the note, I've known him since I was a young boy. He was a senior by then. But the difference is he has always maintained himself. We'll see you soon. Till then, you keep smiling. It's a wrap on the show.